Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Challenge Accepted. We are starting a new challenge this episode. It is a 1940s space race, as dictated by TranDroid Gaming. I will leave a link to that channel in the description box below. I'm sure by now they've posted the first in what is going to be at least 2-episode series. We'll have to see how things go, or how badly I muck this up. But the basic condition is the first person to put something into orbit with the fewest amount of in-game days elapsed will be the winner. There are a few other rules, but we'll get to those in just a little bit. So I'm going to go to Start New. We'll just call this 1940s Space Race, and we have to go to difficulty options, change some things in here. The difficulty is going to be moderate. We will not allow reverting flights, and we will not allow quick loading. And I'm just going to disable the stock comm network. Oh man. Starting funds, 15 grand. That is going to be an issue. Alright, accept, and start. Alright, default remote tech stuff should be fine. That probably won't interfere with things too much. We're going to try to get rid of TAC life support window. Choose a preset. RP0, that's just what I do to default, although I guess that wasn't specified. I'm hoping that's the right thing to do. It seems to be the most difficult. Save. Alright, and we will spend our upgrade points. Now, this is where the first little bit of strategy comes in. There are some tech nodes that we can unlock. So, we do want to put a couple of points here into R&D. And we'll probably leave 3 aside for our VAB. I'm not going to be building in the spaceplane hangar. I know I can shave a couple of hours with rollout times, but it just doesn't seem legit to me. I don't know. This was not specified in the rules. So I feel like anybody else who wants to try to best my time or TranDroid's time could probably shave a few hours by building in the spaceplane hangar. I'm going to build in the VAB. So I'm going to just add a couple of points there so that we actually can shave our build time by doing rush build. But what we cannot speed up is our research and development, and I will show you what tech nodes we can unlock. So we can get Supersonic Flight, and really the only benefit here is this XLR-11 rocket engine from the Bell X-1. It's a really good engine. It's pretty light. It doesn't have a rated burn time, which I feel is kind of like the ace in the hole here. And it's a lot lighter than the A4, and technically infinitely reliable. So the second you can start using that instead of those god-awful Arabies, you're going to see a huge benefit. Early construction is another one that we can unlock, and really the biggest benefit here is better tanks. Like for, I think, service module tanks, or at least the 2 tank types you start out with are insanely heavy and hard to work with. So that's 5 science, that's 1 science, that's 10 science. So we just need to accumulate 16 science. So we can unlock this one, and I think the benefit here is one of these cores, maybe? Early guidance units, 0.35 tons. Does it have SAS? No? Yes, it does. It has SAS. Okay, good. So that would be a... You can go away now. This also has SAS and will control up to 5 tons of .14.35. So that is way lighter. It's .01. Do you have SAS? Because I really need SAS if I'm going to try to do this. Trying to spin stabilize something into orbit is beyond my skill level. Neither of those have SAS. So it looks like this core, probably the Able core would be a good one to go to. Alright. We cannot speed up our research time with money. I mean, we can buy more points to assign to it, but that's about it. Alright, so we have none science at the beginning. Let's leave facility. So money is going to be a crux. Let's see what contracts we can do. Alright, first flight. That's not too bad. Pass the Kármán line. 45 grand for doing that. That's like 4 build points. We could do that. Alright, so off our first launch, if we can net 16 science and pass the Kármán line, we're off to a pretty good start. Okay, so we'll just Hit got it, and then grab our sounding rocket core. And I'm going to try to build out something here that will pass the Kármán line. So, and be able to collect 16 science, which is our magic number of the amount of sciences we're allowed to collect in this episode. So I'll get right to it. I'll probably speed this up and pick you guys up in just a few minutes. So we've got our sounding unit core. We've got a small fuel tank up top. We're just going to add a couple of science experiments and get them set to an action group. Action group 1. And then another tank. Make sure our Aero engine is fueled and ready. Get that thing sized down. Our decoupler. And then we'll get another Aero stage below it. We're going to go with 5 Aero engines. Seems good. Get our fuel on. I think now we're going to spin stabilize our launch stage by just a little bit. Alright, and size that down and move it up, tuck it into that coupler, and grab a paint job. Alright, there's our first rocket. We should probably give it a name. Sounder 1, that's good enough for me. Save, and we'll add this to the build list. It says it's going to take 30 days to build. That's not accurate at all. Alright, so we're going to go up here to our Kerbal Construction Time, VAB, and we're going to rush build the hell out of this rocket. Spend a couple hundred funds, get this down to a couple hours maybe. Yeah, 13 hours. Warp to complete. I would like it to be during the daytime. Oh, I forgot about rollout time. Dang it. Anybody willing to really push the bounds of this challenge can just rush build the snot out of anything. Alright, launch. Now the cool thing is, early on, is that you get a lot of these worlds first. I don't know, they're not really contracts, but they just kind of throw money at you for getting things accomplished, which is nice. Yeah, there is no SAS. We'll just set our throttle to full, even though that even doesn't matter. There's a nice view. Alright, ignition sequence. We're lit, and we're off. Oh, we lost an engine. Well, there's a week wasted. Damn it, you Aero. Ugh! Space Center. Well then, it's going to take 5 days to recondition the launch pad. One blown engine costs me a week. A whole week. Well, I guess there's no real point in... Oh, this one only... Yeah, 30 days again, because we didn't recover any of it. Build. Good enough. Oh, did we get our first launch contract? Vessel complete. Contract complete. 450, whatever. Active contracts. Alright, Crewed. Past the Kármán line uncrewed. How was that one? Oh. Yeah, that's active. Derp. Sounding rocket low. Wants us to get above 70 kilometers. Yeah, we'll take that. Paying out isn't that great. Do I want to waste a contract slot on one of these? Because I'm totally not going to break the sound barrier crewed, but I could pocket that 11 grand. It won't hurt me until we get to the 3-year mark. X-Planes low pays out far less. That is 11 grand. That's like one more build point. Yeah, what do we got? Sounding rocket low and break the Kármán line. So hopefully we'll knock out 2 contracts in our very first run here. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and accept this for the pay dirt. And what do we got going on here? 5 days to recondition the launch pad. So we can get this to within a couple of days. There we go. Warp to complete. Warp to complete. Alright, so we're year 1, day 6, finally. Hopefully launching our first rocket in about 5 hours. Okay, I'm really sorry about being the nighttime launch, but seeing as how I've wasted so much time already, I really don't feel like I can afford to waste the hours or the day. I don't know how accurate we're going to be, if we're going to be within seconds of each other. Maybe that will be a thing. Alright, so very sorry, it's nighttime. There is no SAS. Ignition. Looks good. We're going. Let's radio in some science. That's about 2.5. Almost 4 science there. Our rotation is going. That was flying over Earth's shores that we just radioed in. And hopefully we'll have time to collect all of that. Please don't go all crazy on me. Alright, so looks like when we get high atmo over Earth's shores, that won't be until about 20 kilometers or so. We've got a loss of thrust on one of our engines. Of course we do, Aero. I hate you so much. Alright, down to about 5 seconds of runtime, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, hot staging, separation. Alright, separation looks good, our engine is lit, we're still flying over Earth's shores. I thought we'd be in high atmo by now. We are going to make it to space today. Our apoapsis is now at 170 kilometers and climbing, so we will get some space data. Sweet. Upper atmosphere of Earth's shores, transmit, transmit, transmit. That looked like it was about 7 more science altogether. So that brings our total to about 10, maybe. You know, I can check these things. 6.4, we're still uploading. Alright, we've started to wobble off center a little bit. We're up to 8.4. It's a little shy of what I would like. And we're in space. There's another 4 science. Another 7 total. And 11 more science altogether. That should put us well over our 16 required to unlock all of our available nodes. 15.2. Come on. Come on. Engine is burned out. It did that a while ago. Not that it really mattered. 9 science. 18.2. Yes. Now, if only we had been able to do this a week ago on our first launch. Aero. Ugh. What a junk engine. Oh, hey, and we're just unlocking contracts left and right. We're going to get up to about 626 kilometers, so we're just going to let all of that happen and then fall back down. Alright, and let's just go ahead and collect all of these, because that's a lot of money. There's an extra grand, 990 for 180 kilometer, 160 kilometer, 140 kilometer, 120. Past the Carbon line, uncrewed, 45,000. I'll take it. Uncrewed altitude record of 100 kilometers, 80 kilometers. Uncrewed speed record of 2,000 meters per second. Sounding rocket low. Altitude of 60 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 1,500 meter per second, 40 kilometers, etc., 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 etc. Okay. Oh, hey, those first altitude records really pay out. So now we're up to 96,000's our total bankroll. 22.3 science, and I'm just gonna jump to the Space Center before this hits Atmo because. Alright, R&D. Let's go ahead and unlock Supersonic Flight first and get that XLR-11 engine. And then early avionics, early construction will take less time, so let's do that. Second, and then early avionics, research, and we're done. Alright, let's go see how long those are going to take, because they're probably going to take forever. Alright, tech. Supersonic Flight will be done in 14 days. Early construction in 74 days. I really think I could do this with just those 2 unlocked. But do I want to chance it on a singular launch is the other question. So we've got 3 points. Let's go ahead and put those 3 right into R&D and just see what that gets us. I'm down to 12 days and 62 days. That's like 74 days. Alright, let's buy a couple of upgrade points. How much we got? 96,000. Well, let's take that down to about 34,000, 35,000. That gives us 6 points. Let's go ahead and dump those into research and development. And let's see what contracts we can take, see if we can't pick up some more money. First, artificial satellite. Oh, that is an advance worth taking. Yes, we will take that. What are our active contracts? All active contracts 2. What other contract do I have? Oh, yeah. The break the sound barrier crewed. Sounding rocket high, medium, and X-planes. I think we're just going to have to take sounding rocket high. We're 90 days, though. Ooh. Our tech and our build might not be done in 90 days. That is a tough call. I mean, that is really tough. Yeah, it's not worth the penalty. So we're gonna leave it be for right now. And let's go ahead and buy a couple more upgrade points. 193. Let's pick up a bunch. Yeah, 63,000 should be good. All right. And we'll put a whole lot into research and development. We'll probably put a couple here into our VAB build rate. Alright, what did that buy for us? How's our... No, not upgrades. Tech. Tech is what I meant to hit. Alright, 6 days until we get Supersonic Flight. 34 days until we get early construction. That I feel like is an acceptable margin. So we're just going to go ahead and warp to complete on both of those. Yeah. I was wondering if I wanted to cost myself the month. So we are now in year 1, day 48. And it's time to start slapping together an orbital rocket. So, I'm just going to take a quick poke here at the VAB and see what we can't suss out. Alright, we'll just go to new. We're going to start with an A4 guidance unit. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, that's sounding rocket. Yeah, I don't want that. This has SAS, which I really want because I don't have the skills to spin stabilize something and I'm trying to put it into orbit, or at least a late stage orbital spin something or other. Anyway, so we're going to start from here. The biggest challenge with this part is going to be keeping the dry mass under 40 tons. So we are allowed to fuel on the pad. That is another one of these rules. So it can be empty and then fueled on the launch pad itself, which is really nice. But if your dry mass isn't less than 40 tons, then, well, okay, good. We have default. Before we had structural and fuselage, but with default tanks, they're not pressurized. So they're really only going to save me on the booster stage. I don't know. Let's check against that XLR-11 engines. I don't know if he has this one. Oh, it is costed. Okay. Good. 'Cause this one just looks better and will be much easier to hide in the fairings. So, feed pressure too low. Right? Yeah, feed pressure too low. That's very interesting. That is very, very interesting. So do I chance it with more of those absolutely terrible Arabies? Arabies need to be pressure fed also. Or do they? Remove all tanks. Tank type default. Feed pressure too low. So it's not really an advantage to use those. Alright. And, well, this turned into a bit of a cluster as far as building, but deciding that this XLR11, because it's so light, might be worth the added weight. And considering the added weight of just the A4 core itself, I thought it would be worth trying something out on. So I've obviously sped up most of this build here in post, as I basically talked out some of my thoughts on building this, which turned out to be mostly just me cursing at things and wondering how I could save tiny little bits of weight and meters per second just to here and there. So while I don't know if this is actually going to fly, it was certainly a lot of fun trying to build it together and getting really frustrated because none of the numbers seemed to stack up the way that I wanted them to, which made me very, very, very upset and such. But so yeah, I've decided that maybe the A4, and because of the lighter fuel tank type, might be better for an upper stage, although I'm a little worried because the A4 is known to fail. You can practically expect 1 out of 10 to fail, but it was kind of a work in progress and kind of a big mess of me troubleshooting things and trying to just figure out a combination that works, because the way I've kind of set this up, I really only get one go at this. But I guess we'll just have to wait until next episode to see that one solid go. I will probably be picking up right where I left off, but thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.